out, so is the winger Kingsley Black. Ray McKinnon, Cloughey's £750,000 signing from Dundee United, makes his first Premier League start in the midfield, and the Icelandic wide man Orleegsson is recalled. The key question here, though, Andy, is how will they line up?
Well, it really is anyone's guess, but I've gone for that. I think that Roy Keane will be drafted into the back four. It'll either be him or Nigel Clough, but I think they'll go with Keane to keep their familiar 4-4. Clough in that little half position and the one up front.
It remains something of a mystery. We'll wait and see how they line up. What about the Coventry side? Well, the news from Bobby Gould. There's Brian Clough. Well, some stories that he might not even make an appearance here tonight. And he's got the old green jersey back on again. Maybe that's a bit of a lucky omen too. Well, Coventry, Bobby Gould, unsurprisingly, going for a club record of 5 straight away wins. They play the same side that beat Spurs in Monday Night Football last week. The captain, Stuart Robson, who missed that game with double vision, has had that problem diagnosed as a virus. He's still not fit to return.
Yeah, same 1-11 as last Monday, and I think same formation. 4-4-2, look for number 11 Williams and number 6 Peter and Love to be the ones with pace to cause Forest problems.
To Laws, Orleegsson playing wide on the right. Laws again, back to Roy Keane in that unfamiliar defensive role. Of course, what they'll miss with him playing back there is those surging runs that he makes from the midfield, but really Forest's priority is to somehow stem the tide of goals that have been going past them. 18 so far in 7 matches. That's 2.5 a game, too many.
He's come in for some criticism this season, but his first 15 minutes will give him some confidence. Kevin Gallagher just gets a little nick, and the man of the moment must think, here's my next one. Good goalkeeping. He's so wholly committed, Lloyd McGrath, that sometimes you just have to stand off. I think he's not in front of him, is he? I think he just bowls over Gary Bannister, but it's only his enthusiasm to get to the ball.
Real chance here for Nottingham Forest. They've got Clough, maybe to just chip one, or Pearce to produce one of his specials. McKinnon's hovering too. The rain absolutely torrential. Pearce again.
Well, the wall did its job there.
And it wouldn't quite go in again for Forest. And goal kick, I think, or is it? No, corner.
Again.
Andy Pearce was the man, once again, who was proving Mr. Solidity for Coventry.
It's what they tried to do for us the majority of the time when they get in those positions, is drive the ball across the goal, because they have no real height. But Ray McKinnon had made a great one to the back post if only he'd been spotted.
Gemmill going to try it, and Steve Grizovic held on to that very well when you blow Atherton away. It was a good cross though from Brian Laws, intelligent. Gemmill. He says, if you want my shirt that much, you can have it at half-time. Take it quick, Pearce. Took a deflection on the way through. That is why Coventry have an indirect free kick here. Obstruction punishable by the indirect free kick. Now Pearce is there. So is Kenny Sansom. And Burrows as well. This is a real problem for Nottingham Forest.
To be fair, it ain't easy to score in these situations when you've got about 18 men between the ball and the goal.
Still making sure that the wall is the full 10 yards back. It's something like 13 yards out, this.
They really should only be a couple of yards off the line, shouldn't they?
It should be 3 yards out. Pearce, it's in, he scored. Andy Pearce gets the goal for Coventry. And the offence by the makeshift defender, Roy Keane, led to it.
Well, they just tap it, they know what they're going to do. Forest charge it, they're a bit unlucky, they don't get the block on it. I just from Steve Grizovic. It's the first time they've been caught. The little gap opens up in the defence and he hits this super, but look at that for a save from the big man.
Brilliant save from Agrizovic, that was.
That's it, he wants more now. We've got to go. I said this place would erupt and it might just do that now. I don't think they should be troubled by corners, Coventry. They've got enough height there. They should really win these. They don't clear it properly. It's just nodded back into the danger area. And there's Clough, just overhead kick into the net.
This is very well taken actually by Nigel Clough. Good header from Scott Gemmell. And he kept that down well. That was harder to score, I think, than it looked. Bit reminiscent of that Gary Lineker goal in Poland. Agrizovic is there.
Well, it's about the first time we've seen that. I mentioned that they've kept him quiet. John Williams does the fatal thing. Once Pearcey's played it, Williams has got to track him. He doesn't track him down, so that gives him the space to unleash that shot. And it has to produce a good save from Agrizovic. Bet on that, would you? I seem to remember, I think, in a cup tie at the other end from a similar angle against Coventry. But Stuart Pearce hammered one past Steve Agrizovic.
Answer to your question, Andy, no, I don't want to bet.
He looks like he's winding up for it, doesn't he?
He does. Now, are we going to see a Stuart Pearce screamer? He's taking an almost a fast bowler's run up to this. There it goes. Coventry in the last 10 minutes, but Cloughie has got a point. He gives the thumbs up. He says that'll do for starters. Maybe we can start to turn things around from here. It was a better performance from Nottingham Forest. Nigel Clough with his second goal of the season, equalising in the second half after Coventry have taken the lead just before half-time with a goal from Andy Pearce. There it is, all confirmed for you. The crowd at 17,553.